My beloved child, you are not supposed to see this message not according to the plans others made for you. But I overruled their timeline. I interrupted the scroll of your day because something from heaven has just shifted, and the doors you thought were sealed shut have swung open. It's confirmed. Odin. Right now, the delay that once defined your life is no longer in effect. What once held you back has lost its grip. You have stepped into the moment I orchestrated long before you took your first breath. And no, this is not some general blessing floating in the air. This is direct, personal, tailored for your name, your journey, your prayers. There was a war in the unseen for this opening. You don't even know the battles fought in silence for your future. But I do. I watched as angels warred on your behalf when you were asleep, when you were discouraged, when you were convinced I had gone quiet. I never went quiet. I was making way. And now, that way is here. Don't skip this moment. This is not a dream. This is not someday. This is now. My voice is not echoing from a far-off heaven. I'm right here, closer than the breath in your lungs. And I'm saying to you with authority, step in. The door is open. The page has turned. The atmosphere has shifted in your favor. You asked me, when will it change? I say to you now, this is the moment it all begins to change. You may not see the full picture yet, but the foundations have already moved beneath your feet. You are no longer walking in delay. You are walking in divine activation. This is why the warfare intensified. This is why your emotions have been unpredictable. The enemy sensed what I was about to unlock. He threw confusion and fatigue at your door. He wanted to convince you that nothing would shift. But the very chaos around you was proof that the door was about to swing open. And now it has. Stay till the end, because something huge is waiting for you. You've cried out for confirmation. You begged for a sign. My child, this is not just a sign. It is the door itself. And it's standing open wide. You won't go back to the cycle that kept you stuck. You won't return to the mindset that told you you were too late. That day is over. That lie is broken. That season is done. Lift your head. Breathe in this moment. The door is open, and you are standing in the threshold of everything I've prepared. The winds changed before you even realized the season had shifted. Quietly, invisibly, I cleared the debris from your path. What was once tangled in confusion is now aligned with clarity. You thought you were walking in circles, but every step was measured. Nothing was wasted, not even the detours. What seemed delayed was divine precision. There were pieces that hadn't yet arrived. There were hearts I was softening, doors I was constructing, keys being molded just to fit the lock with your name on it. And now, with heaven watching, I whisper this truth: it's been completed. The setup is done. The access is active. This isn't emotional hype. It's not spiritual theory. This is tangible movement. You'll feel it in the conversations that come unexpectedly. You'll see it in the timing that lines up perfectly. You'll notice the peace that surpasses logic, because my hand is pushing open what no force could shut. Let your mind absorb this. I am not reintroducing an old opportunity. I am unveiling a new one. What I am opening doesn't resemble what you lost. It's rare, refined by the fire of your endurance, built from the ground up with purpose, not pain. You're not here by mistake. The nudge to stop scrolling wasn't from you, it was from me. I placed these words in your path as confirmation that what you felt stirring wasn't imagination. It was activation. Don't skip. Something huge is waiting for you. You spent long enough doubting your own readiness, but I've seen your heart behind closed doors. I know the quiet yes you whispered when everything inside you wanted to run. That yes mattered more than you think. It triggered angels. It broke cycles. It moved heaven into motion. And now I'm moving around you. Watch as I place the right people, the right doors, the right timing with perfect precision. Don't look for signs in what's familiar. This isn't a recycled moment. It's brand new, carved out from a place that only your obedience could reach. You haven't missed it. You haven't failed it. You are right on time for what I have appointed. This opening is sacred. It's not flashy or loud, but it carries the weight of everything I've promised you. It's subtle, yes, but saturated with my spirit. Walk through it. Don't question the timing. Don't second-guess the feeling. Just move. It's yours now. The door you've been waiting on didn't just unlock. It responded to your endurance. When others saw you as overlooked, I saw you as hidden, reserved for something no one else could touch. Not because you weren't ready, but because I was preparing what was worthy of the weight you carry. You need to know what's happening behind the veil. While you were busy wondering if anything would ever shift, I was assembling answers into place. There are movements in your life right now that were set in motion the moment you decided to trust me even in silence. This isn't luck. It's fulfillment. The moments that looked like silence were actually strategy. I routed what would have derailed you. I silenced what would have distracted you. And I allowed time to mature the promise until it could sustain the weight of the blessing you're about to hold. You don't need to prove yourself to walk through this opening. What's waiting on the other side was crafted with you in mind. It doesn't require performance, only permission. Your permission to believe that I meant every word I ever spoke over you. Say till the end, because there's more than one door about to open. I haven't brought you this far to let you watch others walk through what I promised you. The things you once saw happen for others but felt delayed in your life, now they begin unfolding for you. Not through struggle, but through alignment. What's being released isn't a one-time miracle. It's a continuous flow that has already started, and it will not stop at one breakthrough. This is an avalanche moment. One opening leads to another, and another, each one heavier with purpose than the last. You don't need to understand how it will all come together. You're not responsible for the orchestration. You're responsible for the step. Just one step of faith is all that's needed now. Let your feet move before your mind catches up. Let your spirit lead where your understanding hesitates. You've waited, questioned, grown, and yielded. Now I'm answering, not with a whisper, but with a surge. The confirmation you needed is not in a future event. It's already here. It's in the way peace has started returning. It's in the clarity I'm giving you even as you listen. It's in the fire being reignited in your belly. You are in the moment. You're not waiting on it anymore. You're standing in it. And I, your God, am ready to show you what was hidden all along. You've reached the edge of what you could carry on your own. That's why I brought you here, into a moment where you don't have to figure everything out. This isn't the result of your striving. This is the release of what's been held back until the atmosphere was right. The environment around you has been divinely shifted. I adjusted things in realms you could not see so that everything would align at the precise second your spirit became ready to receive, not just hope, but fulfillment. That second is now. It's not coming. It's arrived. The waiting room you thought you were stuck in wasn't delay. It was preparation for a level of glory you didn't even know you were being equipped for. And now, Heaven has signaled the release. What I stored up for this moment has been loosed. You're not returning to the version of life you had before. That era closed quietly, even when you didn't feel its ending. What opens before you now is not another chapter. It's an entirely different book. And you, my child, are holding the pen, but I'm guiding your hand. Let go of what you thought this was supposed to look like. I never asked you to repeat past seasons. I asked you to step into something completely unfamiliar, because what I'm doing next has never been done this way before. Don't skip this. You're in the midst of something heaven had been anticipating. Every promise that once felt distant has begun to accelerate toward you. It won't happen gradually. It won't take years to unfold. It's already advancing. You'll recognize it in how your discernment sharpens. You'll feel it in the new clarity overtaking the confusion you battled. I've already begun surrounding you with new voices, new opportunities, new revelation. You'll feel a strange boldness rise up in places where fear used to sit. That's not adrenaline. That's confirmation. That's your spirit waking up to its authority. You don't need to strain to hear me in this season. I'm speaking loudly, clearly, constantly. Expect divine interruptions. Expect unexpected realignments. Expect people and doors to shift in and out without warning. I'm not adjusting things to scare you. I'm aligning them to bless you. This is the movement you prayed for without knowing how it would come. Now it has. Nothing was random. Nothing was wasted. And now, everything is being redeemed for glory. The gate has opened wide, not as an invitation, but as an announcement. I have called you forward, and what waits on the other side has been sealed with your name since the beginning. There is a weight lifting from you right now that you can't explain. It's not because your situation suddenly resolved. It's because your spirit has recognized truth. You've stepped into the unveiling of what I've been holding in trust for you. That inner release you feel isn't emotional hype. It's the evidence of divine access being granted. You were never forgotten. You were being refined in silence, while I secured what couldn't be rushed. I shielded you from counterfeit paths that looked promising but would have drained your strength. You mistook my silence for absence, but it was strategy. I needed the right people out of the room before I brought you into this moment. You're no longer knocking. The door has already responded. You're being called inside. This invitation is not generic. It carries your spiritual fingerprint. You are not borrowing someone else's opportunity. What stands open before you was authored with your voice, your journey, your battles in mind. That's why it feels different this time. It's not echoing past experiences. It's breaking into a new atmosphere. Stay till the end. The fullness hasn't been shown yet. You'll begin to notice things accelerating, not chaotically, but with precision. Conversations will confirm what your spirit already discerned. Dreams will return with greater clarity. Relationships will shift without struggle. This isn't instability. It's divine rearrangement. There will be moments when you hesitate. That's normal when stepping into new authority. But remember, you are not stepping alone. I am walking with you into everything I've already gone before you to prepare. Expect provision in places that once withheld it. Expect ease where you previously labored. Expect restoration in areas you gave up on. Not because you demanded it, but because I appointed it. You may find some people become silent now. That's not rejection, it's redirection. I am tuning the frequency of your environment so you can hear me without distortion. I need your focus locked in, not on what's fading but on what's unfolding. This is the hour of realization. Not one tear, not one prayer, not one night spent in quiet desperation was missed. Every moment was woven into the announcement I now release. It's open, child. Walk in. Let your feet align with the faith that brought you here. What's ahead isn't a continuation. It's a transformation. Step through and don't look back. What you're about to experience has never been seen in your life before. You've just stepped into a moment where heaven confirmed what your heart barely dared to hope. It's open right now. And if you've ever cried out, "Use me, Lord," this is that answer. Your giving becomes the seed that sends this word like fire across the nations. Every super thanks, membership, and PayPal offering turns into living rivers of hope, flowing to the weary, the broken, the waiting. This is harvest ground, anointed soil. And when you sow into what God has opened, you align yourself with the very move of heaven. The same God who multiplies loaves will multiply your faith. As you give, the windows of heaven respond, not only for others but over your life. So don't wait. The oil is flowing. Be part of what God is doing now. The shift is not coming. It has already occurred. You've stepped into the aftermath of a spiritual earthquake, and though your surroundings may still look familiar, nothing remains the same. Old limitations no longer apply. Old voices have lost their grip. The landscape of your life has been supernaturally altered, and the ripple of that moment is about to touch every part of your reality. Your heart is sensing it before your mind can explain it. That unsettled feeling isn't anxiety, it's recognition. You are adjusting to a dimension I've long prepared, one that was sealed until you were ready. Now, the seal is broken, the veil removed, and the realm of release has begun. Don't assume that what's coming next will look like anything you've known before. I'm not building on what was. I'm establishing what is. Your reference points are shifting, and your discernment is being fine-tuned to navigate this new season without needing familiar signs. Something huge is waiting for you on the other side of surrender. Let go of the version of yourself that only survived. You are no longer surviving. You're entering into divine stewardship. What you carry now is not burden but blessing. You're not holding on by a thread anymore. You are standing on a platform of purpose that I constructed from your quiet obedience. I have placed an invitation before you, not one written on paper, but etched into the atmosphere of your spirit. You'll notice divine tension increasing. It's the signal of elevation. The pressure is not to crush you, but to lift you. I'm not calling you to endure another test. I'm calling you to walk through the evidence of everything you've passed. You've graduated in the Spirit. And now, there will be confirmation after confirmation. The right doors will not resist your knock. The right connections will not need chasing. The favor I'm placing upon you will act as a magnet, drawing what is assigned and repelling what is misaligned. No striving, just stepping. Your posture now is not desperation, it's reception. Your authority is not to be borrowed, it's to be worn. And your identity is not hidden, it's being revealed through every divine encounter you're about to walk into. I have already whispered to others about your name. I have already marked places with your presence before you've arrived. Walk with confidence, not because you know every answer, but because you're finally standing in the fulfillment of a word I never forgot. The reason your spirit feels unsettled is because you're no longer aligned with limitation. Heaven has expanded the borders around your life, and your old patterns can't contain what I'm pouring in. This isn't pressure, it's prophecy unfolding. You're stepping into territory that once felt unreachable, not because it became easier, but because your endurance has matured into access. You're not chasing change. Change is locating you. I've been organizing what you could never orchestrate. What you thought was delay was actually divine timing pulling strands together in layers far beyond your awareness. I didn't just prepare the blessing, I prepared your capacity to carry it. Do not retreat when things become unfamiliar. That discomfort you feel is the stretching of destiny. New spaces require new structure, and I'm forming that in you now. Stay till the end. What's being revealed will recalibrate how you see everything. There will be doors that open without resistance, not because they were easy, but because they were assigned. Watch for moments that feel too smooth to make sense. That's where I'm moving most. The places that no longer fight you are the places I've already conquered for you. Your name is being whispered in rooms you haven't entered yet. I've gone before you and stirred hearts to make room. What felt like obscurity is turning into undeniable visibility, not for vanity, but for assignment. You are not rising for recognition. You are rising because the role requires it. Your voice matters in this hour. This isn't about spotlight, it's about stewardship. I've placed answers inside of you that will unlock others, and the space I'm opening is not just for your comfort, it's for your calling. Expect sudden clarity. Expect precise instruction. Expect your steps to carry a weight you've never known before. Miracles will happen quietly around you. Don't dismiss the small shifts. I'm working through both whispers and wonders. Sometimes, the most supernatural movements will look the most natural, but you will know by the fruit, by the peace, and by the presence that follows. You are not just stepping into a blessing. You are becoming the evidence of one. Others will recognize something has shifted, even if they can't describe it. And that's how you'll know. It's not performance, it's positioning. You are in the flow now. Let it carry you. You are walking through a threshold that didn't open by chance. I time it perfectly, not just for your external circumstances, but for your internal transformation. I needed your heart to be tender enough to recognize my movement, and strong enough to carry what comes next. This moment is not the climax. It's the beginning of a sacred unfolding. You've been trained in private for what is about to emerge in public. That quiet endurance, those unseen sacrifices, the decisions no one clapped for, those were your preparation. And now, heaven is responding. This isn't just a new chapter, it's a divine assignment. I've already gone ahead of you. Conversations you haven't had yet are being aligned. Favor is being released in directions you didn't even think to pray for. People are being drawn to you not for your appearance, but because of the spirit resting on your life. That pull they feel when they see you, that is me. Don't skip. This encounter is reshaping what you thought possible. You're about to notice an increase in divine timing. Doors will open in ways that feel almost effortless. Not because you didn't work, but because I've removed the friction. I'm not asking you to strive in this season. I'm inviting you to walk in rhythm with what's already been established. There's no need to prove anything. The evidence will speak. I've placed a fragrance of favor on your life, and it will draw what's yours. The places you once had to force, now they will call for you. You may feel the atmosphere around you thinning. That's because I'm drawing you closer into my presence. In that space, you'll begin hearing me in ways that redefine how you discern. I'm fine-tuning your sensitivity, not for survival, but for impact. There's an authority rising within you that doesn't need to announce itself. It simply exists, and it shifts things by nature of who sent it. That's who you are now. Sent. Not just seen. Not just surviving. Imagine. This open door is not just about opportunity. It's about obedience. I'm not asking for your perfection. I'm asking for your agreement. Agree with what I've said about you. Agree with the new. Agree with what doesn't look like the past. There is no turning back. What's been opened cannot be closed by any earthly hand. You are moving with the current of heaven. And as you go forward, you will discover that the access granted now was worth every tear, every silence, every surrender. There is something happening in you now that doesn't need explanation. It needs trust. I've awakened a new layer within your spirit, and it's responding to my presence before your mind fully understands the magnitude of this moment. That sensation you can't name is not confusion. It's alignment catching up with revelation. You've entered the season I marked on heaven's calendar. Nothing you missed in the past can disqualify you from what I've just released. I am not restoring what was lost. I'm introducing what's never been seen. In places where you once had to strive for approval, I'm establishing ease born from divine identity. You won't need to convince anyone of your value. The doors that matter already recognize your anointing. What I've placed inside of you will do the speaking. Something huge is waiting for you, and it's already in motion. You're going to begin sensing an urgency that isn't rooted in fear, but in purpose. Time will feel sharper. Decisions will carry greater weight. That's not pressure. It's precision. I'm sharpening your focus because the windows I'm opening will require clarity. I may nudge you toward unfamiliar places or people, but there is strategy behind every movement. I'm assigning you to spaces where your presence activates solutions. You won't always know why you're needed, only that I sent you. And that's enough. You'll see disruptions in your usual routine. That's part of the shift. I'm dislodging you from cycles that kept you secure but stagnant. The shaking isn't to unsettle you. It's to replant you where fruit can finally grow. Your prayers haven't been unanswered. They've gone deeper. They've pulled on places in heaven you didn't know were accessible to you. What's being unlocked now isn't just provision. It's legacy. I'm not interested in temporary victories for you. I'm building generational transformation through you. That's why the warfare intensified. The resistance wasn't just about what's now, it was about what's coming after you. But you're still here. Not because you figured everything out, but because you refused to walk away. That quiet resilience has triggered a release. And now, you'll walk in things you didn't even have the words to pray for. Stay present. Stay awake. This is not the conclusion of the promise. It's the delivery. And everything around you will soon reflect what I've already confirmed in the Spirit. You're ready. This is your moment. Walk in it. This is the moment where everything changes. Not someday, not in theory, but right now. The space you've stepped into isn't just open, it's sacred. I cleared this path for you to walk fully, without shame, without hesitation, without apology. You didn't stumble here by chance. You were drawn here by design. I've watched you endure quietly, so deeply, and believe even when nothing around you confirmed your faith. And now, the invisible has begun to manifest. The confirmation is not coming. It's already pulsing in the atmosphere around you. This is the confirmation you cried for. This is the clarity your spirit ached for in the silence. What lies ahead is not simply a reward, it's fulfillment. It's the full release of what I've been storing for the exact second your heart opened wide enough to receive. That second is here. You've crossed over, and heaven has recorded your arrival. Listen closely. The battles that once drained you will not follow you into this next space. I've drawn a line in the spirit, and what once had power to delay you has lost access. You are not returning to cycles. You are not repeating history. You are walking in a realm where grace accelerates what once took years. Expect divine reversals. Expect territory that was once denied to now welcome you. Expect a flood of clarity and courage you did not know you carried. You will look back and realize this moment with a hinge, the spiritual turning point that rewrote the atmosphere around your life. No more wondery. No more begging for signs. You have been confirmed, chosen, and sent. So now, I bless your hands. I strengthen your voice. I illuminate your path. Go with confidence, knowing you have stepped through what few recognize and fewer believe. What you did, you listened, you stayed, and now you receive. It's confirmed. It's open. It's yours. Amen. You've arrived at the divine threshold. The door didn't just open, it responded to your obedience. And now, as this sacred moment settles over your spirit, heaven extends an invitation. Join the mission. Fuel the move. You've whispered, God, let me be a vessel. This is your moment to pour out and watch Him pour back beyond measure. When you give, through super thanks, membership, or PayPal, you don't just support a message, you ignite a movement. Your gift becomes oil on this flame, a spark that sets others free. The word you just received will become someone else's breakthrough, because you made it possible. The heavens are stirring. The harvest is here. You with faith. So with fire. My child, if this word awakens something deep in your spirit, type it now. Yes, let the fire spread. The hype button is not just a feature, it's a flame. When you press it, you help carry this confirmation to someone else still waiting for their moment. Every hype and like becomes part of this divine wave, and I will use it to reach souls you've never met, but I've already marked. Now, declare it in faith. The door is open. I'm walking through it. Speak it in the comments, and let your own voice become a testimony. You're not just writing words, you're aligning with a word I've already established. Let all of heaven and earth witness your agreement. This moment is not passive, it's prophetic. So comment boldly, and let the atmosphere around your life respond. If you felt me speak through this message, don't just scroll away. Subscribe now, not to a channel, but to a divine appointment. I'm using this space to whisper to you, to stir you, to ready you for what's next. You've asked for clarity, for direction, for confirmation. This is where I answer. Join me here, and I will keep speaking straight to your soul. Amen.